Alright, so I apologize for my lack of videos, and today I'd like to give a quick update of what I've managed to achieve over about 32 days of work time. I have not been idle despite not making any update videos. We've started out with day 1 like this. And after 17 days of work, we managed to get to this, with a window, sort of a roof, no sheets on it yet, and 3 skeletal walls, one of which has the membrane on it. Now before we go any further, for my future build videos, they will all be on this channel, Aragon Builds. I shall no longer be mixing it with my Neverwinter content on my main Aragon channel. So go subscribe there if you're interested in this build DIY content, a part of my real life. I believe I left you guys off at this point where we have the frames of like 3 of the walls and we're slowly putting in the windows. As you can see here, just trimming down the window space with that fabric. And then rather than having to try find a windowsill, we decided we're just going to go work on the cladding on the outside. It was getting pretty late when I got to this point that evening. Now I'm mainly just going to show pictures for this video as it's not going to extend for very long, and I mainly just want to do an update for you guys who care. And I would like to give Mohammed Lop a special thanks for the extra motivation on my stream yesterday. It does go a long way in knowing that some people do care. Now you can see we're getting the cladding all the way up there around the windows as well. We still actually got to put this bathroom window in, but we get it to the top on that side. And then we got to cut a whole chunk of these little pieces. And you can see they just went then up along all of here. And there we had it. It was raining here a bit, so you can see all the wood has got a bit damp. So we just do the rest of the bit there. And so just moving around here, climbing through the window frame, we can see the work we had done with the cladding. It's looking more and more like an actual house. The next day we proceeded to get that window in place. We had to put this windowsill in just here, which we got out of a sheet of metal, just bending it on a hammer and anvil. And then we cleared out these for the next 2 windows. And there we managed to get the window in. Again, had to laboriously get that windowsill shaped out. And then we're going to have to tackle this far wall. And we can see what it's looking just around here. We'll put this window in next. Again, just getting this sheet, getting those metal scissors and cutting it along that line there. And then snipping a cut in the side there so we can bend it to either side like so on the anvil. And there we have our windowsill. Not exactly the most professional job, but it's gonna work and it's gonna keep those windows waterproof. We're adding in these extra plastic bits here either side, get our window, and ta-da! Very neat. We do have to fill around the gaps a little bit on all of the windows. We're going to be spraying in some expandable foam just so that no air can flow through, and then we can seal it up on the outsides with some extra wood trimmings. And so there again, we have finally 4 windows in place with 1 wall fully cladded on the outside. And so the next day we proceed on the next window. Again, same process, getting the window, and there we go. And now we have 5 windows. And the next job is going to be tackling the cladding on the outside here and cleaning up the decking a bit. So proceeding on to day 22, we've got our bunch more cladding boards, which we're going to have to put on the outside there. That's how it looks without any cladding. We get those supports on for the cladding, which are like those lats. We cut a bunch more of those singular ones. This is always the most annoying part, and get them all nailed in just there. Get a bunch more of these longer ones, and the same beside the door. On to day 23, we just want to add a trim here for above the windows, but additionally we need this support for the stairs that we're going to be building. We got to chisel out this section, you'll see why, and there we have it nicely cleaned up. Now this is about where the stairs is going to go, and so we're going to put the support beam just there, so hold up that section so it has some extra support. And there you can see the fruits of our success. We managed to get that support pillar in there, nice beam, and then we start working on the stairs. Here we proceed with just laying it out, measuring. We get those 2 support beams in and a whole bunch of steps. Just listening to my audiobook, time flew by. We didn't take nearly enough pictures, and that's great. We have a stairs. And we managed to bring Colleen along, tempting her with some cheese. She's got to get used to these stairs as they're mainly for her. The reason being is I had to carry her up a ladder every single time I would bring her to bed because she sleeps in the same room with us. She's more of a house dog than anything. But she really had no bother going up those stairs. So that's great on my part. I'm happy that it worked out with the design. It's a 45-degree stairs, which is a bit more steep than you usually get. On to day 25, we're drawing up our plans for our internal wall. Our first one that's going to support the roof. And that'll just be going over here and to hold up mainly again the roof. So we get all the wood cut out and laid out for that. And you can see the frame getting constructed, adding in the extra noggins in between. And that's one side complete. And ultimately, with a bit of help with my mother, we managed to heave that thing up. It took quite a while, but we managed, and I'm happy with that. We had to hoist the roof up a little bit. But over there is going to be a spare room, and over here is going to be like the bathroom. And this is currently how the space is looking. The sheets finally arrived for the roof. Yes, we didn't have a proper roof up until now, and we're starting to construct it. Laying them all out, we screw them down. Again, not nearly enough photos, but we do the top part there as well, bringing over the rest of the sheets, and again, get them laid out and screwed down. And so we pretty much got it finished. We just got to add these trimmings on the edge here. On to day 27, we finally put the fabric on the back wall there. And then on to the next day, you can see we have the wall in. We cut a hole in that part of the roof there so we can actually get through there. And you can see what it looks like on the inside. This is currently where I'm kind of living. But we got to remove that entire part of the roof that's no longer needed, that entire sloped angle. You'll see why. So the first step is to remove this felt. We get that cleared up, and then we got to remove this insulation. We neatly roll it all up, and that's it all removed. And now we can start taking out those wood sheets. So this was a pretty productive day for me. We put those sheets out of there and tack them onto this far wall. So you can't see much anymore here. So with those 2 boards out of the way there, not sure why the camera's shaking so much. We still got to do the other side, but we've got a significant amount more space there. And yeah, this place is a tip. I'm thankful the lighting's actually so bad. But moving on to the following day, we can see with a bit more lighting how it's set up. Totally should have taken some more pictures, but this is from my phone. You can see my bed to the side there. And then it's gone to this stage where we've moved the bed over and we have the wall finished up on the far side. Now the ultimate challenge is to do where the kitchen is. Kitchen has so much stuff in it. So, well, time to actually tackle the challenge. Well, we got to pull everything out of the kitchen. So there's all my supplies, my food storage. And then we got to go and detach the plumbing and be able to then actually drag this thing out of the corner. We do that, and once it's out of the corner, we can finally remove these boards that were behind it. In doing so, we can move them and then finally remove the rest of the supports for how the roof was originally. And we got to remove this part as well, which has a whole bunch of stuff above it. We get that out of there. You can see all of these wool boxes, and we get that cleared out and taken down, moving the boxes over there. And then we can finally remove more of these boards. Now we're removing them on this side just to add in this, as we still want another loft, and we got to cut the slots in the wall here, add some extra support to make sure it's level, and then ultimately we have our support for our loft, and we can add in some extra support on the back wall there. And you can see it's much better cleared up there, removing that part as well, and then adding a slot in this board to then add back on there. And then we gotta remove this beam, as we shouldn't need that to support it anymore. And we can add in our next support beam for the loft and our third one. And we have that board just dragged out there to bring up onto the loft. So wow, a big improvement to the space. Massive progress. You can see we walk in here. Again, still a bit messy. We have our setup there with the bed in the corner. Drastically improved the amount of space we have here. So we move to the following day where we can take some more pictures. We've got the kitchen tucked away in the corner, and my oh my, this space has so much space, literally. We get the plumbing done with the kitchen, back up. We gotta put some holes in this board to be able to put the pipe through, and we get that sorted out. And then we got to do some electrical bits as well, rewiring the plug, adding a different one in because the previous one had kind of melted a little bit. And so there we have it. Our kitchen tucked away in the corner. We got our lamp and we got everything put away back where it's supposed to be. And ultimately, this is day 32 of every single day I've actually worked on it, that I've done like a little bit. There might be 1 or 2 days where I only maybe did a bit of thinking, maybe cut one piece of wood, and so I haven't exactly counted those. Overall, the space has increased massively with removing that angled wall, and ultimately I'm going to conclude the video here as this is up to date as where we are at. You can see the nice cladding there. We still got to finish the decking here. It's not even nailed down just yet. But this is what it looks like internally. Pretty messy. I apologize. All work in progress, you know. No point tidying something up and then it ends up just becoming a mess again because you got to pull out all your tools, your pieces of wood, etc., etc. Anyway, that's how it's looking inside here. I'm not sure why the camera is being not so smooth. It should have smoothing enabled so that when I walk around. But regardless, you can see the picture of how it's all set up now. Again, still pretty messy. Absolutely got to sort out my internet issues for streaming properly. I'm just gonna try work a bit here, and I should be streaming again Temple of the Spider later today. So ultimately, I'm very happy with the progress I've made so far in literally a month of 31 days plus 1 day of work, pretty much entirely by myself. I needed a little bit of help on lifting up the walls into their position, but that was it. So well, this didn't really end up being pretty short. I ended up just going through the entire thing, videos and all. Hopefully you enjoy it. And again, if you are interested in this content that I make, go and subscribe to Aragon Builds. There'll be a link in the video description, as that is where I'm going to be posting all my future build videos. This is the last one for my main channel, as I think my audience will appreciate not getting spammed with notifications from videos they don't even want to watch. And I completely understand that. It's entirely separate content. Likewise with the people who just want to see my build videos, they don't want to be spammed with a whole bunch of Neverwinter videos. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and additionally a massive thanks to these channel members who really help support me and my lifestyle. So if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. I'll see you guys around. Bye for now.